Good evening. My name is Allison Johnson, and I'm a volunteer for Conflict Solutions International. And I'm very glad to be the moderator for this evening's event. We are very pleased to have a representative from the National League of Democracy of Burma here with us to discuss the situation in Burma, giving us a history as well as a context for the current turmoil and challenges for the Burmese people today in 2007. I'd like to present Mr. Bo Hla Tint. He is a minister from the government, basically the party of the National League of Democracy. He has been here since the declaration of the United Nations that allows basically the fight for Burmese to be free of the military junta. He's been here since the 1980s, and he's going to talk about his struggle, the struggle of his people, and the current situation.
So my name is Bo Hla Tint. I'm an elected member of parliament from the National League for Democracy, and it is which is led by Aung San Suu Kyi, 1991 Nobel Peace Laureate. She's been spent 12 years of the last 18 years under house arrest. She's only one Nobel Peace Laureate under house arrest at this point. So I also belong to the National Coalition Government of the Union of Burma, which is the government in exile, is representing people of Burma to internationalize the case of Burma. So I'm here today not to talk about our organization or government in exile, but to talk about Burma, historical background of Burma, and what is really going on at this moment, and what is the role of the international community and people like you to help freedom in Burma. So I appreciate the CSI and to arranging this important and very timely event this evening. So you might not very used to hear about the history of Burma, because of Burma was very isolated country, different from Thailand or Vietnam or other country in our navel. So Burma was located in a Southeast Asian nation, a Southeast Asian region. So bordering in the east is Thailand, Laos, and China. And in the north is White China. And in the west is India and Bangladesh. In the south is we have a sea, Edmund Sea. So Burma was the name given by the British colonial rulers. It was ruled Burma since 1885 to 1948. Or before 1948, there was a lot of liberation movement by the Burmese, and one of the most outstanding and famous leader at the time was Aung San. His young military general is the father of Aung San Suu Kyi, now our leader in 1991, Peace Laureate as well. He was a very outstanding Burman nationalist who led the Burmese liberation movement before 1948. But the most unfortunate thing for Burma is, when Aung San and the whole cabinet were assassinated 5 months before the 1948 independence. The whole cabinet, including himself, were assassinated. So in 1947, July 19, since that time, Burma was faced with the leadership vacuum. And conservative politicians who become the leaders of Burma is very weird, who has been decided not to be getting involved anymore in the politics. His name is U Nu. He was senior politician in the independence struggle, but decided not to be anymore in the politics and went back his native town and just, focusing on religious activity he preferred. But because of the fortune of Burma, he was, his elected candidate for the parliament came to the parliament in Rangoon his ship was sank. So people asked him to get into the by-election. So U Nu, unfortunately or fortunately, he became the elected candidate to the Burma parliament. Not only that, later he became the elected prime minister for Burma. What I'm trying to say is the one who doesn't want to, be involved in the politics become the first elected prime minister of Burma after 1948 independence. Along with independence, because Aung San is the one who trusted by the all ethnic group, but he was assassinated, and conservative leadership was very religious, but in terms of politically, he is not very convincing or trusted by the ethnic tribes or ethnic nationalities. Burma faced with the problematic situation since along with the independence. So constitutionally, there was a lot of differences and dissatisfaction by the ethnic nationalities along with the independence, even though Burma was introduced parliamentary democracy after independence. But along with the independence, all these ethnic nationality who dissatisfied with the performance of the government following up the constitutional agreement prior to the independence. So Burma faced a lot of difficulties since its independence. But at least Burma was known at the time as the rice bowl of Asia, the largest rice exporter in Southeast Asia nation, one of the richest country in Southeast Asia. The universities are full of the international students and international faculties. Whoever, people from the Vietnam, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia who want to go abroad has to come to Rangoon, the capital of Burma first. That is in 1950s Burma. And one of the richest, if you look at the situation, geopolitical condition, 57% of the country covered by the tropical rainforest. You name it, Burma timber. Burma teak is one of the most famous teak all over the world. We have a ruby, we have a diamond, we have a sapphire, we have a oil and gas. We have everything. So, but this naturally abandoned situation has been not bringing any luck for Burmese people, but to be exploited by the colonialization or conservative neighbors or international business opportunists.